All right, guys, we're going to get started here with. Ready? All right. So, um, online students, can you hear me? Just want to make sure.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Um, what I would like to do now, before we get started, so you guys have met Rikav twice, right, for English? Right, twice. Can you quickly give me an update of how English ACT English is going on for you guys? Good.
All right. Really good.
Okay. How about you guys? Because usually after this class with Rikav, when you take the April or the June test, I'm expecting combined the regular and the advanced group, at least 5 to 8 students get a perfect 36. That's the goal. And I believe, and English is a finite system. If you know the rules, doesn't matter whether in 7th grade, 10th grade, or senior year, you should be able to apply those and get the questions consistently correct. It's not like math where it's a pretty vast subject. So really important for you guys to ask questions, and I hope you guys have been asking questions. Okay, otherwise it's not going to help you. As I said, December we had 8 students get perfect 36 in English. Second thing is next Sunday is the Super Bowl. We're going to be going from 1 to 3. Okay, the class is from 1 to 3. So I don't want you guys missing classes. Next, anybody taking the April test or the June ACT test?
I'm taking April.
All right. If you're taking the April or the June ACT, could you please write on this? And you need to talk to your parents about it. It is called TIR, Test Information Release. And so when you register for the test, the April, June, and the December test, you can buy the test back for $20, called TIR, Test Information Release. And you should do that without fail. Okay? So that you can correct your mistakes and know how you're done in the test. All right, that's the next one. Is does everybody have this book?
Yes.
Anybody who don't have this book?
My book hasn't arrived yet.
All right. Okay. Is it Krishank?
Yes.
Okay. What I'm going to be doing is I think I'll just take pictures of this book and I'll text you right now so you have something to go with. Okay. I'd asked you guys to watch the ACD science videos, and it was on there. I hope you guys watched it. So right now it's 5:08. So I'm gonna give you guys around 12 minutes or so to tell me whatever you learned from that video, and it is that those students did the same thing. And it was really impactful, and they were able to pretty much repeat to me what they learned. So I would listen to you guys. Go ahead, tell me what you watched and what you learned from it. Anything on regarding that video?
I learned that you want a lot of data or graphs and pictures, and you don't want a lot of tables.
Good. So the selection of the passages is extremely important. So remember one thing. There are 6 passages. How many minutes? 35 minutes. How many questions? 40 questions.
40.
So the difficulty really varies from passage to passage to test. So you really have to select in that 45 seconds the first 2 you would be doing in the real test. How many? So this book has 7 passages, but in the real test you'll have 6 passages. And you'll be supremely tired because science is the last section of the test. So you'll be really tired if you don't practice enough full test. You'll be in for a big surprise that during that time you just give up. Usually after a reading test, people usually give up, and it has happened many times. All right. Anything else?
Discussion type questions are last, like all words.
So it's called the conflicting viewpoints, right? Or the discussion should be done last because they resemble the reading test and do not want to waste your time in that one. And it was a really significant in the December ACT actually. This strategy has really impacted students who took the December ACT. Next.
If you have to decide between tables, you want one with a lot of data and that's a smaller table.
2 smaller tables is better than 1 large table, and select the data tables. Words, phrases can be very disruptive and very confusing. Be careful on that one. Next.
Start with passages that have the least reading and more pictures, and then move on from there.
Yes. Least reading, more graphs, least tables. So repeat. Least reading, more graphs, least tables. Next.
Focus on like the best. And like, I mean, like when you're answering the questions, it may not be perfect, but just like the overall best.
Yes, there is no correct answer per se in science. It's you have the best answer. 2 plus 2 is 4 is the correct answer. What's the color of the shirt depends on the multiple choice, right? So you want to be very cognizant about science on that one. I've seen students struggle with that. They look for the correct answer. Out of the 4, you have to select the best. And one more thing, you have to think like an author, right? It is the author's perspective, not your perspective when you do the ACT science. These are hard ones. Next.
Don't fluster. Like, keep your confidence because you won't finish it if you don't.
Yeah, a little distraction in that 35 minutes, you're done. And if you make a mistake or if there's a question you're not sure about, yeah, as Nick said, don't be flustered. Just move on. There is 40 questions to complete. Okay, take one question at a time and stay on that question. Next.
Common sense.
What's that?
Common sense.
Common sense really matters, especially for the selection of the passages and getting to the best answers. Common sense really will kick in. And technically speaking, ACT Science should have all the information you need in the passage to get the answers correct. Prior information shouldn't be a requirement, but it has been happening quite lately, maybe 1 or 2 questions per test. So I remember there was a question on production of glucose in plant leaves. You need chlorophyll, right? The pigment, the green pigment. So they didn't give any information about chlorophyll, but they expected students to know it. Yeah, they shouldn't be expecting students to know in 35 minutes to. This is a science reasoning test, not a science knowledge test. So, next.
You have like 45 seconds at the start to pick the 2 first passages.
Yep. By the time this semester is done, you're looking around 30 seconds. Because if you take 45 seconds, you're going to be delaying a lot you don't have time. You absolutely don't have time. An ACT science score can make or break your entire, because it has happened too many times. Another important aspect, directly go to question number 1 of the passage. Don't read the passage. You don't have time to read the passage, period. Sounds good? So is there anybody who did not watch the video? All right. Go to page number 808. So in the video, we did do this, right? We did this test as a selection of passages.
Yeah.
What are the 2 passages that were selected?
5 and 7.
5 and 7. Do you guys agree with that selection from that group?
Mm-hmm.
5 5 and 7.
Yeah.
So look at 5, hardly anything to read. There is a picture. Picture is like a graph. Okay? Simple one. And same with 7. 7 has a little bit more reading, a picture, because you do not want to get into tables early on. Again, as you mentioned, common sense really matters, really does matter for ACT science. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do passages. That's the reason we sent the video, so that I don't have to repeat the entire hour on that one. Now we can do more practice passages instead of the video. And honestly speaking, watching that video one more time won't hurt you at all. By the end of this semester, you should know exactly what to do in ACT science, and should be have prepared at least 5 full practice tests. Okay. So I want to send Krishank this picture first, so that he has the passage to go with it. I thought his materials would have.
I already got it from a friend.
Yeah, I'm sending you a text message right now, so hopefully you can use this as for the science test. We're on passage 5, by the way, everybody. Okay. Remember one thing: calculator is not allowed, and even if it's on the desk, you'll be disqualified in the real test. So it has happened to one of our students. Accidentally, too late. Okay. We'll be doing passage 5. I'm gonna give you guys 3 minutes, because the first 2 passages you take the quickest time. You want to be done quick. And I know today is the first time you're doing this, so it's going to take some practice as well. Your 3 minutes start now. Directly go to question.
You mean the passage on 8:14, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Time's up. Here are the answers for 23 to 27. B, F, B, H, C. Did anybody get all correct? 1, 2, 3. One wrong?
I got one wrong.
I got one wrong.
I got one wrong.
I did as well.
Okay. Any questions?
I did.
Anybody has any questions? If you don't ask, you won't learn. If you don't learn, you're going to make the same mistakes again. And you wonder what happened.
So when you're reading the passage, do you just kind of skim it quickly and then, or you go directly to the questions first and then you?
Yes, you directly go to the question, and when you have to refer back to the passage, you skim or scan the passage. Very rarely you need to end up reading the passage. Because some of the passages can really be hard and you need to read it to understand it, but many of the majority of times, no. Out of the 6 passages, I expect 4 to be straightforward, 1 to be a little bit more of a scanning, detailed scanning, the 1 will be more reading, full detail reading. So you could see that you could finish this test much quicker because this passage, because this ACT kind of distributes this type of difficulty all over the place. But when you start making mistakes on an easier question, listen to this very carefully. There are 215 questions in ACT test, and each question goes through a process called equating, where every question has been normalized to the same difficulty level compared to the previous test. So according to ACT, irrespective of what test you take, you should get the same score. That's the hypothesis, which I don't agree, of course. So for example, question number 23, I know that one, had a negative fudge factor. If you make a mistake in that one, not only you will lose the normal 1 point, but you will lose a little bit more because they think it's easy, called equating process. And that can hurt you guys a lot, especially in the math, the first 20, science questions like this one. Remember, the first question of each passage usually is easy. So if you make mistake in that one, it kind of can hurt you. So last chance to ask. Any questions? In the advanced group, they had asked me after the first passage 3 questions out of 6. So let's go to passage 7. I can only do so much, guys. I'm not a mind reader. And remember, science can make or break your scores. All right, so we have 7 questions here. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes. We'll see what happens. Your time starts now. Time's up. Just raise your hands if you're done with the passage. Okay. 34 to 40. H A J A G D G. Did anybody get all correct?
Could you repeat all of them, please?
Which one? Sorry, Kriti?
All of them.
All of them. Okay. H A J A G D G.
Thank you.
One wrong.
I got
I
one wrong.
did.
I did.
Questions?
I'm kind of confused on 35.
35. Okay.
Yeah, I had a question on 35 too.
Choose that one. Oh, I know this one. Did anybody answer C?
I did. I kind of got mixed
Yeah.
up.
I did.
I did.
Okay, so I know this question very well because I know this kind of keeps coming. So, based on the passage, which of the following best represents O2 levels in one of the Great Lakes during the spring? So, what it says is when you go from the surface to the bottom of the river or lake, the oxygen concentration does not change, right? It remains same. Now, look at the axis here. For answer A, for A, lake depth, that's the from 0 to 20, and the oxygen concentration is 6, whether it's at 0 or at the 20, right? So if you flip it, people get C option, and the answer is A, because whether it's a 0 surface or a 20-meter surface depth, the oxygen concentration is 6 milligrams per liter, remains constant. You guys see that? When you flip it, the C option, it sounds like as the distance is the same, but the oxygen concentration is changing. It can be, yeah. Yeah, that C, I've seen 35 is many students get wrong. Any other questions? At least you guys are asking now. That's good. 35 had a positive fudge factor. That means if you got it right by luck or if you know it, you actually get more points than 1, which would have compensated if you made a mistake on the question number 23, which is the easy one. So that's how it works. Yeah, you really don't want to make a mistake on the easy one. That really will hurt you. All right. So we did 5-7. What's the next two the video says to do?
2-3.
2-3. Let's go to passage 2. Passage 2 has 4 questions. You will not see it anymore because all passages will have usually 6 or 7, maybe 5 sometimes, but 6 and 7 is normal. Passage 2, 4 questions. I'll give you 3. Let's put some pressure on you guys. Let's do it in 2 minutes. Your time starts now. Does anybody need more time? Okay, go ahead and finish it. I'm going to give you a little bit more time. All right, 8 to 11. 8 to 11. G, D, J, A. Did anybody get all correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
Okay. Questions?
Could you explain 10?
Yeah.
10. Okay. I'll look into 10. Any other questions? Let's go to passage 3. Now you are shifting to what's called the tier 2 questions. I'll get to question number 10 later on. Passage 3. Where things will really change in terms of your difficulty level, your understanding, you got to be very, very focused on this. You have 5 questions. 5 questions. I'm going to give you full 5 minutes. Your time starts now. let's go to question number 10 first. Again, I don't know who asked, but let's see. Studies have shown that existing homes in the same neighborhood can have very different radon levels. That's actually very true, by the way. Radon levels can go actually change from one house to the next house. I actually taught in undergraduate chemistry this stuff in nuclear radiations. Okay. Are these findings consistent with the information present in the passage? And if you have an unfinished basement, you really need to be aware of that one. So in the passage number, paragraph number 2, they did mention that outdoors radon levels are rarely high enough to pose a human threat. Indoors, however, radon is a concern because it can seep into foundation of a home through the ground and accumulate in areas with little ventilation, where levels can then become threatening. Radon gas can seep from the ground through many different pathways, such as cracks and in the basement floor, through drains and sump pumps and so forth. So basically, yes, radon levels vary depending on many factors. Basically, how thick the basement is, what type of insulation you have, all these things matter. And it's available in many of the home improvement stores, like Home Depot have carried these radon kits. And you should, actually in my home, when we bought this house 2 years back, our radon level was actually just higher than the permitted. So they had to put a fan to have a continuous ventilation. So every day I check at home just to make sure that it's showing the same readings. So you can talk to your parents about it, and they should be aware of it, because radon can really be pretty dangerous. Let's go to passage 3 right now. So question number 12 to 16. Ready? Okay. JDF CG. Did anybody get all correct?
Could you repeat number 12?
12 is J. Did anybody get all correct?
I did.
I did.
Good improvement. First 2 passages, you guys getting started, but this is so important. You gotta get the momentum on your side. Any questions?
Could you repeat number 15 and 16, please, again?
C and G.
Thank you.
Yeah,
14B F because inversely means like
opposite.
correlating.
Let's go to passage 6 now. Passage 6 has 6 questions. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes. Your time starts now. Passage 6. Time's up. Passage 6, questions from 28 to 33. G, D, G, D, F, B. Did anybody get all correct?
I did.
1,
I did.
2, 1 wrong.
I did.
I did.
I did.
I did.
A lot of 1 mistakes, huh? Okay. Questions?
31.
31.
Yeah, 31.
Hold on. Okay. We have a question here first, then I'm going to go to the online students. What's your question?
So in question 33, where should I look for in a graph to find 75% compost and not 50%?
Table number 1.
Right, but then
It says percent soil / percent compost. So the first one is 25%, 75% combination. And that's why they say according to results in experiment 1, so stay on experiment 1 only. And they're asking, what is the question? What percent of the compost yielded the highest average number of leaves? So table 2, leaves, you're getting most in soil compost mixture 1, that is 75%. Yeah. Now, next question.
Oh, for 32, where's the seeds?
Experiment 2, how many seeds were planted in each clay plot? In experiment 2, the students repeated experiment 1. So, how many were in experiment 1?
4. There was
4. It says in experiment
4.
1.
Yeah, now I see it. Okay. I just didn't see it. Sorry.
Focus. Remember, there are 2 key words when you watch the video. Focus and practice. Time is going to zip by, and if you're not serious about this, it can be detrimental in affecting, and I'm not kidding, and I want to be damn straight with you guys. This can make or break your score, and it has happened too many times. So, couple points. First, I strongly suggest you guys to re-watch the video. Okay, not going to hurt you guys at all. Second, I have a question on homework. So I'm going to go line by, everyone, and the question is, have you done the homework, all homework as of this point, yes or no? Okay.
I haven't done a little bit of it since I was late to join the program, but I'm getting there
Okay. When do you think you'll get there?
this week.
Okay.
how do we access the homework? Because I haven't gotten a way to get to it. So I'm kind of wondering how we do that. Because I have no way to get to it.
This is the 5th class, Maya. Okay. I'll talk to you both, and I'm assuming you're in the same boat. Okay. You could have asked me this question. I'm going to talk to your mom. Okay. She has the access, and you.
Okay, I asked her and she was like, I don't know how to get to it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just ask next time.
Okay.
I'll bet on last week's. I can do that this week.
I don't like reasons. That reason is a bad one, by the way, but I don't like reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. Online, Ava, yes or no?
Yes.
Nick,
I have everything except the book that hasn't come yet.
you're good then. Charlotte,
Okay.
Yes.
Krishank, okay, you don't have the books. Will,
Yes.
Isabel,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Nirmay,
Yes.
somebody with the name iPhone.
yes.
Who is that, by the way?
It's Sahara.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
No worries. Kriti,
Yeah.
Noah,
Yes, sir.
okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, so you guys have some catching up to do, you both, and people who are behind, for some obvious reasons, I understand, but I would like you guys to get it done. I'll tell you why, and that's why I'm so particular about homework. Two things will happen with homework. First, you'll really focus on the basics. Second, when you start preparing for the ACT test, that will really help you prepare by knowing the materials. So this class has an average of 5-point increase. That's how it's planned. 2 points by coming to the class or watching the videos. 2 points doing the homework. 1 point by doing those 5 practice tests. If you do that, I'll be absolutely shocked if you don't get your scores. Again, we had 6,000 students who have gone through this program. So we have significant data to prove that this works. Question here is, how badly you want it. If you don't want it, you won't get it. It's no magic pill. But I really think one of the changes starting 2023 for us, for me personally, as a owner of the company, is what does it take for me to change that? For you guys not doing the homework and stuff. I don't like that. This is not high school, okay? I expect, you are my students, that's all and I expect a lot more from you guys. And I did talk to the other group as well, okay? I just want you guys to put your best foot forward and be prepared. Once you're done with the ACT, you're done. You really will have a huge load taken off your shoulders. And whether you like it or not, listen to this very carefully. This is the most important exam of your K through 12 system. This is going to give you admissions, give scholarships, or in both. So you screw up on ACT, doesn't matter who you ask, you're going to be in trouble. Sounds good? So then you're going to start settling down for lesser things. And this is the 5th class I really wanted to talk to you guys about this, because I don't want plan B for you guys on this one. It's easy to come up with a plan B and it's useless. Stick to plan A and do the work for it. Fair enough? You're my students and I expect that. So I'm gonna give you guys maybe 2 weeks to get caught up.
I'll be done in like 2 days.
2 days? How many days?
2, sure.
Okay. And I need a text message from you and you when you're done.
Okay. Well, I only missed last week. I've been doing all ones.
Okay. When you're done, I need a text message.
That's fine.
And I'll get you guys the things. I'll make sure you guys start doing it. But you're gonna start from the first one.
Okay.
And I don't want you to rush just because you need to do the homework. It has to sink in. I would rather have you take 3 weeks to do the homework, but it has to matter something to you guys. Fair? And same with the online students. Once you're done, I expect a text message.
Is the reading writing book is it just shipping in the mail?
They have closed the print of the book completely. They didn't inform us. We tried and still are looking for any copy. But we have been very unsuccessful. But I'm not too worried about that. Once we get the book, I know we're gonna get it eventually somewhere. But that book is completely closed. That company has closed the production of that book altogether. So there is only like 2 copies left on eBay. We tried to look for that one, and the point I would have bought those copies. The problem is they all have written in that one, and there's no point in it. Okay, so Nick, hang in there. We'll make sure we get to the book. But otherwise, I would like you guys to start strapping yourselves. This is where the inflection happens for this class. Next week will be very hard. It'll get pretty hard from now onwards. Sounds good? And that's how it should be. Have a good night. See you next week at 1 o'clock on Super Bowl day. Okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.